In this video, I'll show you how I made this flowing Riverbank Paludarium. Be sure to stick around to the end, as I'm even going to add some tiny adorable creatures that will call this ecosystem their home. Now let's get straight into the build. Here's the tank that I'll be using. I made it myself from an old aquarium, but I'll put a link in the description for something similar. I really like the dimensions and I think I've got the perfect scape in mind for it. What I've got in mind is creating a slice of a riverbank with lots of round pebbles, moss and plants. I've went out and collected all these pebbles myself, and I've soaked them in some boiling water to ensure that I'm not introducing any pests. I deliberately picked out a variety in sizes which are all similar in colour, which will hopefully come together to create a natural looking scape. I'm placing in some foam to protect the glass and more evenly distribute the weight of the stones. Now I'm going to start experimenting with multiple different hardscape layouts until I find something that I'm happy with. It took some time and a good few tries, but the hardscape layout is starting to come together. As I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to recreate the bank of a river, so I want the stones to slowly taper up as they go towards the back. At the moment they're only balancing, so I'm going to lock them together with the superglue and tissue method. By locking the rocks together, it makes creating and maintaining the paludarium much easier, as you haven't got to worry about them falling over. All I'm doing is wedging some tissue between the contact points and then soaking it in superglue. It dries in no time and forms a strong bond which is 100% safe. I've locked everything down into place and I'm really liking how the scape is looking so far. There are a few places where you can see the white tissue and glue, which certainly doesn't look the best. I'm going to cover these up before moving on. I've applied some super glue on the area that I want to cover up, and now I'm going to pour on some sand. I can then brush off the excess sand and the result is a much more seamless joint between the stones. I've repeated the same process for all the other joints and I think it looks a lot better. I'm trimming back the foam just to make sure that it doesn't show through the cosmetic sand. One thing that I don't really like about the scape at the moment is that I can see straight through the back panel of glass, as well as light coming through all the gaps between the stones. I think the paludarium would be framed much better if you couldn't see through this back panel. I've got some acrylic paint which I'm going to use to paint the glass black. An easier way of blacking out the glass is simply cutting and taping on a black piece of paper. I didn't have any to hand, so this was the next best thing. With the background done, I really like how it makes the rest of the hardscape pop out. This is some fine gravel and I'm going to pour it over the hardscape to fill in any large gaps between the stones. I can now take some small pebbles and add a few more details throughout the scape. I think it's about time for some decorative gravel throughout the foreground. I'm going to use this gravel from Denelay, as I like the variety in colour and the rounded shapes of the pebbles. It is a bit dirty, so I'm going to give it a rinse before pouring it in. Now the gravel's clean, you can see the colours that I was talking about. With the gravel in, I'm not sure I like the strong contrast between the colours of the pebbles and the gravel. I think if the large pebbles had a similar colour and texture to the gravel, it would look good, but it's just not working in this case. I could cut this out, but I think it's good to show the trial and error and the fact that the idea you had in your head sometimes doesn't always go to plan. Now all the gravel's been removed, I'm going to pour in some fine sand. I'm then going to sprinkle on some fine gravel, followed by some pea gravel. I'm mainly trying to pour in the pea gravel around the large stones, as this is where they'll naturally build up in nature. I'll finish off the foreground with some larger pebbles and a light dusting of sand. In my opinion, I think this second attempt looks a lot more natural and fits the scape much better. I'd love to know what you think, and if you prefer the first or second attempt at making the riverbed. Let me know in the comments. Something I haven't really done before and I want to try with this scape is using an oversized piece of hardscape to really make the tank pop. I've got this cool piece of spiderwood and I'm going to try and place it in as if it's a tree branch that has got stuck flowing down the river. After a short while of experimentation, I'm liking how it looks here. I'm really liking the spiderwood and I think it takes the paludarium beyond just an ecosystem inside a glass box. There's definitely circumstances where oversized hardscape doesn't work, but in my opinion this isn't one of them. At the moment it's only being held up by a wooden skewer, so I'm going to use some super glue and tissue to secure it in place. Now that it's nice and sturdy, I'm going to add a few more spiderwood branches. I'm going to place them in to look as if they're part of the original piece of spiderwood. This does take a bit of trial and error and sorting through different pieces, but I'd say it's worth it for the end result. Now the hardscape's complete, I'm really happy with how it's turned out, so let's move on with the build. I should have done this at the start, but I'm going to add a self-leveling mat to the bottom. I've also attached it to a piece of wood that I've painted black that will act as a nice stand. This will help level out any imperfections that might cause harm to the glass tank. Before planting, I'm going to get the paludarium filled up with water. A small piece of paper towel helps disperse the water and stops it from disrupting the sand. The first plants I'm going to add is some Anubias and Bucephlandra. I'll plant these above and below the water by wedging them in gaps and cracks between the pebbles. As this is an open paludarium, these plants might struggle growing outside of the water in the open air. I'm still going to give it a go and hopefully they acclimate well to the conditions. This here is some cushion moss and I'm going to plant it behind some of the pebbles towards the back of the scape. I really think this will help create the feeling of a natural riverbank. I'm tearing it up into smaller chunks and then pushing it down in place. This is a slow growing species of moss that forms these dense cushions, which is where it gets its name from. Obviously, this moss isn't going to grow if it dries out, so the way I'll keep it hydrated is by ensuring that the long stem of the moss is in contact with the water. This will allow it to wick up water and carry it all the way to the top of the moss and ensure that it keeps on growing healthy and strong. I absolutely love how the paludarium's looking with the moss inside, and it really is starting to turn into a slice of nature. Next I want to add this stunning Peperomia. I've removed all the soil and cleaned it off so it's down to its bare roots. I think it will look good right here just underneath the spiderwood. There's nothing to wedge it into, so I'm going to have to lock it in place a different way. I'm going to use some gel type superglue to attach it to one of the pebbles. This doesn't damage the plant, but try not to use too much. You might be wondering how it will get nutrients, and the simple answer is that it will pull the nutrients straight from the water. I'm liking how it looks, but I think the scape can do with a bit more colour. These Fittonias should solve that problem. I'm planting them down into the cushion moss. This will keep the roots damp and they'll soon find their way down into the water. With the majority of the planting done, I'm going to fill the paludarium back up with water. I think some Christmas moss growing in and out of the water will add some nice detail to the scape. I'm making sure to place it in areas where it can wick up water and stay hydrated. I've spent some time off camera creating these small mossy rocks that I can place in the water. It's super easy, but let me quickly show you how to make one. All you need is some moss, some thread and a small rock. I'm going to start by tying a knot around the rock and then covering it in moss. All I'm doing next is wrapping the thread around the moss to lock it down. I can then tie off the thread, cut off the excess, and that's all there is to it. These can now easily be placed inside the paludarium and moved around if I wanted to. An alternative to the thread is simply gluing the moss to the rocks, but it will leave some white marks which doesn't look too good. Now this would work as a no filter setup, but I think I can take this paludarium to the next level by having flowing water just like a real river. I could simply install a pump on one side of the scape, but I don't think it will look too good, so here's what I've come up with instead. I've built this mini canister filter along with some micro intake and output pipes. I made these by heating and bending a small piece of acrylic tubing. After attaching the input and output pipes, I'm placing on some small suction cups that will hold the lily pipes onto the side of the tank. I can now prime the mini filter by filling it up with some water. As you can see, I've added some small filter sponge that will help keep the water nice and clean. Now let's turn it on and see how it runs. There was a bit of noise at first as it got rid of the bubbles, but after about 5 minutes it was pretty much silent. It flows really nicely and I don't think it's too strong for this small scape, which is great. I do want to add some tiny creatures to this paludarium, but first I need to let it grow in and establish. It's well over 2 months later and I'm glad to say that this nano paludarium is thriving. Before introducing the tiny creatures, let me take you over a couple of the changes and additions. The first big change you might have noticed is the micro canister filter. A couple days after setting up the Paludarium, it suddenly hit me that the filter was made from aluminium, which will corrode in water. I originally thought it was stainless steel, but unfortunately not. I've replaced it with this food grade plastic beaker, which certainly doesn't look as good, but it does do the job. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a video on how to make a micro canister filter like this one, as it does actually work really well. As for the moss and plants, they've been thriving with only a couple exceptions. The immersed grown Bucephlandra did unfortunately die off in the first few weeks, but I'm glad to say that it's got new growth on the way. The star of this tank has got to be the Peperomia. It's grown these stunning deep ridged leaves which add so much detail to the scape. I've also added some asparagus ferns to the corners, as I really think they elevate the riverbank look. The last thing I need to do before introducing the creatures is add a small foam filter guard on the filter to stop them getting sucked up. Now here are the inhabitants that will call this Paludarium home. These are 5 tiny, adorable baby cherry shrimp. These are some of the babies from the mini indoor pond that I built on the channel a few weeks ago. They're only about a month or so old, so they've got a lot of growing to do. I'm going to float them inside to temperature acclimate them, as well as add some of the water every few minutes just to get them nicely adjusted. About half an hour has passed, so let's get them inside their new home. Now they're inside, you really get a sense of just how tiny they are. I likely won't keep them in here forever, and it will serve more as a grow out tank for them. Due to their small size, I was worried they'll struggle with the flow of the filter, but they're not bothered at all. Either way, there's plenty of hiding spaces round the back and between the stones where they can go to take some shelter. I'm really happy with how this Riverbank Paludarium's turned out, and I know it's only going to look better and better as it continues to grow in. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, why not check out this one next, as I think you might enjoy it too.